Alrighty, I am here. I had to share this out. Alrighty, so hello. Gonna be a quick one because I gotta go pick up the little one, but I'm gonna do this video. I was originally going to just record it, but I have no memory on my phone. Therefore, we're going to do it live so that I can then edit it down for other platforms. All right, so we're gonna get right into this. Let me go and remove our banner. There we go. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. I am Shakia, the professor of HSing 365, home of the Honesty Speaking brand of products. We're not using Honesty Speaking today, other than our pigment ink, but I'm going to do a print and cut. So I'm trying to do more videos with the machine because some people have pointed out that I do more of, which I've actually also said myself, I do more with the program than I do like with the machine lately. But now I'm starting to pick up like doing more with the machines. So you're going to get to see basically a print and cut done. Now, I'm also with this showing a way that you can make these. So if you didn't see my post when I made these, they're Dollartree candles. Okay. Little quick, nothing too crazy. I use printable printable vinyl. So it's a very thin vinyl for this. So it's going to be a lot different. Like you can barely feel the vinyl on the bottom of this. Now with this one, this is sticker paper, so it is going to be much thicker. This is a satin paper. These up here don't have any coating over it. This one I actually did put clear gloss laminate over it, and we're just going to go ahead and do the print and cut and then put them on. I'm going to just put one of them onto the candle because I want to be able to record it in a way to where it'll be a little bit easier to edit, but just in case I can't, I wanted to at least have this video. All right, so we're going to do that and say really quick. If you guys have questions about print and cut, any of those things, post them early because I'm not going to be on long. All right, we're going to just do a really quick demo. All right, so I got to go to my computer to send the cut file. So while that's going, I'll just kind of explain some things. As you can see, I am using a Cameo 4. However, I'm using a Cricut mat. You do have to set your mat up. Even if you have, which I don't think I should have did 2 cuts on that. That sounds like it's cutting too deep. I forgot to change my settings. So, even if I was using a silhouette mat, I still recommend taping it off because there is tracking issues with the machine. When you put the guides on there, you basically know exactly how your machine cuts, how much it tracks or how much it drips. And that way you know exactly where to put your paper. And I do believe that that helps contribute to me having amazing print and cuts because I have it right where my machine is looking for the registration marks in the edge of the paper, like just in case like it shifts. So I do use a Cricut mat because I don't care for the silhouette mats. They're a little bit too thin for me. If you end up cutting them, they end up getting like little shards. So I am definitely a fan of non-silhouette mats. So you have the Cricut one, but there's also some other ones. Econo Transfer actually just kind of released some, not to say kind of, but they just released some mats. And then like any of the other ones. So if it's a non-silhouette mat, or just for me, any mats, if you're someone that does print and cut, I highly recommend watching my video on how to calibrate a mat so that you have the guidelines on it. Let me check and make sure that this actually cuts all the way through before I take this up. And that's a tip as well. I mean, although with print and cut, it doesn't really matter because it's going to read the registration marks, but it's a habit of mine to where I always check before I release the mat. Okay, all right. This one is a little bit thicker. I knew it. That one, I set it to cut because this had laminate over it, which it needs to cut. I need to do a double cut for this, but I actually should have just did it twice and let it cut these 2 and put this one at no cut, and then put these 2 at no cut, and then cut this one on the double cut because these they cut all the way through, which you normally just want a kiss cut because it is actually harder to pull them off when they are cut all the way through. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to go ahead and undo that. So if you have the template vault, it will be in there tonight. Anyone that doesn't have our template vault, it'll be on my website tomorrow. The templates for these particular ones, if you would like to be able to put your own design within it, you do have to have Designer Edition Plus or Business Edition in order to have the warp feature within Silhouette Studio. So I'll have basically one where I'm going to let you know like the measurements and what you need to put your warp on, but you would have to buy the template for that. And again, you do have to have Designer Edition Plus or Business Edition. Designer Edition does not have the cone warp. All right. So we're going to probably cut some of this because, like I said, I did put a clear laminate over it. Now this, I created a bleed for this just to make sure. So when I did the warp, it's one setting, and then the cut line is another to make sure that it's actually inside. So I had to create 2 different warps for this so that I have a bleed. You can't just kind of do it and then just kind of have the bleed. And I don't ever use Silhouette's kind of like automatic bleed setting because that doesn't really create like how this does. The way this bleed was, it was the actual design. It was a little bit bigger, and then you just bring the cut line inside. Whereas when you do the print bleed, it puts this weird kind of color around the side. Now, these have a label on it. This one I've already removed. You're going to use a heat gun or a heat gun, or what's the thing I just used? Blow dryer, to take it off. Now, for these, because I'm using vinyl, I would have to go on here and use alcohol, or in my other video, you're going to see I use some hand sanitizer to take off that adhesive, because with the thinner, like actual printable vinyl, it's thin. You would end up seeing all of those bumps and things from where the glue is. Now, when it comes to using sticker paper, it's a bit thicker, so you won't really see that impression through it. So all you have to do is cleanly take this off, heat it up with the a blow dryer. Just be very careful. Of course, it is a candle, so you don't want to start to like melt the candle. But just take it, heat it up with the blow dryer, and then you can peel this off without having like a bunch of the paper left on it. So I'm not going to take this off because this is thicker media. So I don't have to worry about taking this off. I'm going to go ahead and just put that on my squeegee. And this is a lot easier, a lot different, like I said, than using my vinyl because I can just pick this up because this is a thicker material. And we're going to line this up, lay it down. Well, yeah, this one's a little bit off on this side. It was kind of going down a little bit. Okay. Oh, come on. All right, actually, why am I doing this with the top on it? Let's take this off. Now, I went up a little bit higher on this one than on the bottom just so I can line it up. Once you get it on, squeegee it down. I recommend taking a straight blade, kind of getting in there, putting it on the flat surface. Make sure it's really, really sharp and just going around it to take that extra edge off and it still be nice and clean. So this is a DIY, definitely inexpensive way of doing this is with sticker paper. So I got a lot of questions on my post on whether or not you can do this with sticker paper or whether or not I was using sticker paper. For me, I use my roll-in. But with this one, I probably should have adjusted it. I put it up a little bit higher because this is a thicker paper. It would not have curved around the bottom edge like this one does because this is a thin vinyl. But you can do it. If one, I'm using pigment ink, so that is going to be water resistant anyway. Pigment ink does not run, but the paper can break down. So that's why I put the clear gloss over this one. And now that is basically fully protected. I mean, technically at the top, that is still paper to where if it got wet, the paper could break down. But with this, something like this, they shouldn't necessarily be, wetting it unless they want to kind of clean out the candle once it's finished. That would be the only time like they would really use water on this. But this is on here, nice color, easy to do at home, regular printer, sticker paper. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to do one more. Just these do not have any laminate over it, just so you can see it's pretty much the same though. Ooh, I loosened that candle up. As I say, you got to be careful with how much, look, my candle is now dropping to the bottom. You got to be careful with that. But now that I've heated it up, and I don't even have nails, peel that end up. Oh, come on now. Oh, well, now this one wants that crazy. All right, maybe I need a little bit more heat. In me talking through it, I think it cooled down. Let's see. Can I get it to come off cleanly this way? Nope. All right, let me go heat this up one more time. I can't really do it over here because I don't have a plug for my blow dryer over here. All right, so this one broke up a little bit, but it's still not like leaving as much paper. So I'm just gonna peel that off. And this is not as important to peel this off when using a thicker sticker paper because you're not going to see this through the sticker paper. But if you're using an actual printable vinyl, if you have an eco-solvent printer and you do this, then you need to you will need to take all of that off. All right, so we're just going to put that down. This cut all the way through, so I just have to be a little careful with getting, well, this is going to be a little interesting getting this one off because I had to cut it all the way through in order to cut through that one. And this is why you don't want to cut it all the way through, like trying to get it peeled up can be a pain. All right, so there we go. Got to just make sure that it's not tilting when you put it down, because if not, if it is, it's not going to line up on the other side, which this side is going up a little bit. It is curved, but you can still not go on. Like if you're like, you know, like if it's tilted like this, it's not going to, or you can also do it this way. Well, no, you can't, because then it's not going to really reach. So actually you can't do it that way. If it was flat, I've done the flat ones that way, but you can't really do this way. I'm trying to hurry up because we got to go get the little person. Just got to make sure that you are, so I'm kind of going, yeah, I can tell, like I keep going up on one side. Okay. We should be slightly off. You see, this is going to come off. This is, well, even with vinyl, you can kind of play with it a couple of times depending on which vinyl you are using. And then as it sets, it's going to adhere better. I just don't want this to. Okay, I can definitely tell once. I hate these sometimes because you can't really tell when you're putting it down because it's arched if it's going down straight on both sides. And that's too high. Oh, come on. The first one went on good. This one wants to act crazy. Yeah, one side is going up. All right, I'm trying to do this where you guys can see it. I have to bring this to my face because me trying to lean over to do it is just not working for me. I'm bringing this closer to my face and holding it in my hand where I feel like I can really see. And then once I kind of get it on, then I'll put it back in frame. I just got to be able to eyeball, like have it at eye level where I can tell if it is, ooh, tilted or not. And this one is only critical because of the design. And I really want the lines to line up. If you end up doing a design where, there we go. So they're lining up. If you end up doing a design that doesn't have like lines and things on it, it's not, you know, as, I guess you would say, critical with making sure it's lined up. But this will be very evident that it's not lined up because the lines won't line up on here. All right, there we go. Oh, there is a bulge right here because I was like, why is it not reaching? But there's a bulge right here. It's not fully down. So let me just go back through that. All right, there we go. There's still this little bulge right here. The other one went on smooth. This one's giving me a hard time. All right, there we go. It's a little off on the bottom. And my tripod's acting crazy. All right. And then just put it down. Start, find your little piece to kind of start at. It needs to be a really sharp blade and a nice flat surface. And then just turn the candle. I'm not moving my blade. I'm just turning the candle to get that nice clean edge at the top. Everything wants that crazy. My tripod wants to keep leaning. Jeepers creepers. And there we go. So there is the ones with the sticker paper. Now I did change the line color, which is why it's a little bit different, but the color of them is going to be a little bit different, just in general, from sticker paper to vinyl. What is wrong with this tripod? Whenever you want to rush to do something, everything wants to go haywire. Okay. So these are only different, like the color wise, it's different because I actually changed it because I made the lines a little bit lighter. But the vinyl is thinner and this is thicker because it's sticker paper. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can tighten this, y'all, because this keeps falling over. I'm just gonna have to try and leave this up if gravity's taking over. So you guys already saw that part. I was trying to have it lean because of that part, but yeah. So this one is the same paper. I just put clear laminate over it. I actually just cut the laminate. I'll show off that one. Oh, I can't really show it because this is actually sized to the extra to make it easier to line up. So I have a file where this part, if you're going to put a clear laminate over it, you can just cut it. You put it before you do the print and cut and line it up with the bleed line. So if I put it on there now, it's going to be bigger than this. So this is designed to go on before you cut it. Now, technically, if you wanted to put it on after the fact, you could. You just have to cut it top and bottom because it's going to be bigger. Oh, dang it. This is sticker paper, not vinyl. So that one messed up with me trying to put this on after the fact. They let you know you cannot lift it back up if you're going to try and put this on after the fact. So I recommend putting it on before. If it was vinyl, you can put it on after the fact because vinyl is not going to rip like sticker paper is. Of course, I would recommend, oh, that's the other thing too, with putting on afterwards. There's now 2 different seams. So if you're going to use laminate, just put it on before, like I did with the one with the books. I messed this one up. And the joy about this though is if you mess it up, unlike that one, this is a little bit easier to take off because it's not fully cured. So it will come off because remember, this is sticker paper. It's not vinyl. There is a paper backing to this. It is not vinyl. It is not vinyl. I'm very particular about that whole thing when it comes to calling sticker paper vinyl because it's not made the same way. The properties are different. It doesn't operate like it doesn't function the same way. You have that paper backing to it, which if it gets wet, that paper backing can break down. The ink won't run, but the paper backing can break down. But if you have one that is an actual vinyl, it's a little bit different. Why do you want to act? Why do these 2 want to act funky? So I did it to where there was really there's nothing at the top. It's actually kind of hanging off of the bottom edge. And I would, if you're going to hang it off the bottom edge, definitely use some heat to try and seal that and get that to kind of curve around the edge because again, this is thicker paper than vinyl. But there's that one. But this one is vinyl. It's a thinner vinyl. Yes, it's printed that way. You warp it. These are warped already in Silhouette Studio. So you have to know how to use the cone warp in Silhouette Studio. It's in the title. These are from Dollartree. So they're just some Dollartree votives. So if you don't know how to properly use the warp to make sure that it lines up and actually reaches the back, because if you just use the warp, it was never intended to do full wraps. It was to just arch like vinyl and things like that. So if you don't know how you're supposed to adjust the settings, it will not fully wrap around. When you purchase the template, it will have the measurements on it as far as like how much you're supposed to add to it to get it to where it's going to wrap all the way around. But that will only be in the template. I won't be able to provide it in this video. If you have the template vault, it will be in there when I come back from getting the little person. And if you're going to buy a la carte, you have to look on the website. Yep, I'm going to try and get it up tonight. If not, it'll be on my website, my Etsy, first thing tomorrow. All right. But that's a little cool. It doesn't matter what it is. So I have them where they're basically just school related items, I have some that I'm working on because this week was also nurses week. So I have some of those because someone asked me to make some things for a nurse in their life. So I'm gonna do some that are like nurse related for these. I have this one, and I also got this one, which is not really a candle, it's more of like just an air freshener. But I'm going to do the template for this one. But this one is easy because this one does not this one doesn't warp. It's not, I mean, it's not tapered. So this one will be easier. But I saw these as well. I like the color of the top. So I'm going to do the template with these same designs and my nurses ones for this as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you have access to the template vault, y'all know once I do new templates, you guys get access to them for no additional cost. All right. So we got to go. Check out the website, shop.hsing365.com. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.